Hello, people of the internet. My name is JD Shadow. This is going to be talking about Miraculous Ladybug, but this is going to include absolutely no footage of the actual show, and I'm pretty sure you're going to know why here in just a few moments. That is because this is something that I have been talking about for a bit on my reactions. However, this is becoming such a glaring problem that I need to address it in its own video. I need to address it in all seriousness. I need to address this in a way that people are aware that something is actually going on here. And I don't know if any other reactor has been experiencing this issue. I do know that I have been experiencing this in every single video of season 2 that I have been doing. Every single season 2 reaction I've done has been claimed. Now, who is claiming it? Well, let's take a look at my most recent video, Glaciator, and if you are seeing this, it is saying that it is blocked in 167 countries. That is a lot of countries that are not going to be able to view this video, and it just kills my ability in order to gain a following, gain an audience, get the video out there, make people aware that I exist. That is something that just kills anybody who wants to be able to make videos as a hobby or as a living. So yeah, that is a big problem. But this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because if you can see down on the bottom there, the claimants are the three that keep appearing. They are Horizonte Contaduros, I hope I am pronouncing that right, I'm not butchering it completely, Disney, and On Entertainment. Now, On Entertainment, as I have been told, and I'm not quite sure if I'm correct on this, is the licensor of Miraculous. And as long as they are appearing, as long as they are there, we have no idea whether or not they are good with the reactions of Miraculous. Now, the creator of Miraculous, Thomas Askuk, and again, I apologize for the butchering of such names, as I'm not too good at pronunciation of names, has said during the whole AMV situation that he is fine with the way that people are using the clips from the shows, as long as it is not 2 minutes of uninterrupted footage from the show. Now, as I have interpreted it, is as long as you cut to something else in the episode, then you are fine, or another scene. Now, this is in question now because I have disputed all of these claims. I have gone through the counter notifications, I've done all these appeals, and it is not quite clear which ones they are releasing, because they do release some of these, and ones they have fought against. Now, you may have noticed on a few of the videos that I have done, I put a little bit of a grain filter on the spot where the episode would be, where you would see the video of the episode. That is because I do believe that it is a content ID match on some of these things. However, anybody who is well known about how YouTube handles copyrights and when somebody can claim it, there are two ways one can claim. Either through the content ID match system, in which the robot will scan through videos and will match something with something that is within the database, and then it will say, hey, you use something that is matching with somebody that had their copyrighted work on our databases, they are now claiming the video. And then you would have to go through the system and tell them, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then they would say, hey, okay, we don't mind them using that content in their video in the way they are doing so, or they can reinstate the claim or whatever. And then there are the manual claims. That means that somebody, a human being, not a robot, went into your video, saw something that they feel matched something that was within their copyright, and they went ahead and flagged it. Now, there is a third way, and I'm going to go into a little bit of conspiracy theory here, but there is a third theory that somebody else could say, hey, I see this, I'm going to flag this for copyright, and then the people who actually own the copyright will find it and then go that way. Now, from the way that I am getting these continuous claims, it is hard to tell which one it is. Now, the third one, it is more conspiracy theory than anything else, but as I've said in other videos, in order for people to stop thinking that there is a conspiracy, you need to not give them a reason to think that a conspiracy exists. And let's just say there are a few videos that I make that some people might not really like like me making and might want to use this as a way to silence me on those other videos. And that is kind of a crap move to begin with if you want to go that way, but I want to think that that's not the case. And it has to do with the notion that I keep getting these claims because somebody within these three entities are deciding that they are going to all claim my video. How does that work, by the way? Because who gets the money? Not me, apparently. And I have to fight off every single claim. Now, in Robustus, I had to re-upload the video. Now, there was one reason why. Normally, in these situations, I would have to file a counterclaim. They would either release it or reinstate the claim. I would have to go to a dispute, and then at that point, they would release the claim on the video. Not so with Robustus. They seem to have a problem with that one, or did have a problem with that one. As my first video that had to do with Robustus, they decided that they were going to still reinstate the claim and reject my dispute. Now, the way that YouTube is doing things now, or letting people do this now, is that it's giving the video maker up to 7 days to cancel their appeal before they take it down and issue a copyright strike at that point. I was halfway tempted to go further and go for a counter notification. Now, if you do not know what a counter notification is, it is the last step in being able to reinstate your video. And once you file it and YouTube approves it, then the only way that a copyright owner is able to keep the video off of YouTube is to actively sue you and take you to a actual court. And that has a lot of stigma behind it. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of things on this video because I feel as though my battles against Toei Animation on my Sailor Moon Crystal reactions are well documented by this point. But this is something new that the copyright owners, or those that think they have every right to own a review-oriented video, have begun to do. They are trying to get those people to remove their claim and therefore remove their ability to fight off the claim. Now, as I have been reading, 9 times out of 10, the copyright owners won't go beyond the counter notification, and I have yet to see anybody actually get sued in court for something they put up on YouTube. Now, if this were the case here, then this has a lot of legal ramifications, because if you do not understand how fair use works, this is a review. This is a review-oriented video. I am giving my thoughts about a show, and you see my face as the majority of what you see in each of the videos. This is something that the copyright system does not cover just yet. They don't know how to combat this, or if they have to at all. This is something new that we have been privy to, that somebody can react in a form of a review, as a form of review. And this is something that I feel as though has to be addressed. This is not just somebody being lazy and just taking someone else's content. This is somebody making a review about a show in a reactionatory way. This is a bit different than, say, what the Fine Brothers have done. This is something a little bit different than that. This is somebody actively giving a review of content that is publicly available on Netflix or what have you. I live in the United States, therefore I adhere to the United States copyright law, and fair use dictates that I am allowed to do this, in part because I am reviewing this content. But this is where it gets a little hairy, because the ones that are claiming the video, let's take a look at what they do. Now, of course, you know who Disney is. However, they do not show it here in the United States on Disney. They do have the rights in the UK and in Ireland, but not here in the United States. Now, the one that I'm unsure about here is Horizonte Conteudos, who looks like a Spanish name. However, I'm not getting any bit of information about who they are. I have tried to Google search them, and I'm not getting that much in the way of any actual information about who they are. The most I can get when I go to search for them at Miraculous on the same string is something called mycartoons.net, which I'm not sure if that's the right thing. thing because he keeps bugging me to turn off my ad block, and doing that anymore is saying to me, wait a minute, why are they wanting me to do that? And it kept bugging me every 5 seconds about it. Every time I cleared it, it waited for about 10 seconds and then it bugged me about it again. Like, leave me the hell alone about it. So yeah, that one, I'm not quite sure where they come into it. Maybe somebody can give me some information about that. However, the one that is the most prevalent here among all of the other ones is on entertainment. Disney and Horizonos sometimes appear, maybe Zmagtoons sometimes appear. However, this is the one that has appeared in every single claim. These are the ones that are basically the animators. They're the ones that are making the animation for the show. And I have to think that they're the ones that want to reinstate these claims. Now, I don't know if anybody else who has gotten these claims, assuming that anybody else has gotten these claims at all, are seeing this particular one come up, the on entertainment one. And I'm not quite sure what to do about it. I'm not sure how to approach this. I'm not quite sure how to tell them, hey, wait a minute, this is a review, and we have gotten somewhat of permission to do so. I don't know what to really do because I don't know how much control the creator has on what the animation studio does, or the licensor does, assuming I'm getting this right and this is actually the animation studio, not just a licensor. But as I see, they're more or less the animation studio because Method Animation is within this, and Method Animation has come up a few times, but this one keeps coming up. I'm not sure what to really do. I have been told through some people in the grapevine that some people do have ties with them, but I'm just guessing on that whole front. It's more along the lines of this is an ongoing problem, and I'm not sure if anybody else has gotten this. And these people have been completely inconsistent about what they decide to release and what they decide to fight. Sometimes they have released it absolutely quickly. Other times they've waited a few days and then they release them. Sometimes they don't release them at all. They decide to fight, as the robustest thing would have you believe. Sometimes it's just blocked in a few countries. Sometimes it's blocked everywhere worldwide. There is no consistency here, which makes me think that there's something else to this. There are certain episodes they really don't want you doing, assuming that they have any right to do so, because this is a review-oriented piece of work. I don't think I have to go any further than that. I don't know what to really do. I don't know how to really approach this. So I want to put this out there to any other Miraculous Ladybug reactor who is currently making videos. Have you been needing to fight claims from these three groups or any other group? Has On Entertainment become a sort of curator in this regard as far as making sure that they get claimed? What do you do about it? Can we really do anything about it? Is this something that only affects me? Is there something that I'm doing that triggers these sort of claims that no one else is doing on this front? As you well know, I was that close to saying, you know what, I'm gonna let the 7 days elapse on the robustest thing, let it go down, and then I'll file the counter notification, because this is not the first rodeo I've done. Remember, whenever Toy Animation decided to claim the Sailor Moon Crystal videos, they just said take them down right away. They don't mess around with that. I decided to file the counter notifications, and bing bang boom, they were back up there within 10 days. And I usually was able to win that case. This, on the other hand, this is happening everywhere I go. Anything I try to do, they still claim it. So what is going on? Here's what I think needs to happen. On Entertainment needs to make a statement here. Somebody needs to say something. Somebody needs to go and tell them, hey, wait a minute, these guys are on the up and up. They're not trying to outright claim that this is theirs. They're just trying to use it for a review purpose. We have every right to do that. They have no right to say we are not allowed to review a content, because what would happen if only approved people got to review content? You know what else would happen? It would only be the people that are positively reviewing the content, or any content. It would be the inmates running the asylum. Now, this is not to say that things in Ladybug are bad. I am fully enjoying the series, but at the same time, if this is something that's only affecting me and no one else, then again, that conspiracy theory starts going into play, which I don't want to think, and I would have no reason to think that, but again, that is something that needs to be addressed there. But if it is something that's affecting a good bit of other people, then I feel as though this has to be addressed regardless of whether or not we are enjoying the series. If this is going to continue to go on, then why are we not addressing it and doing anything about it? We're working hard to create these videos. I work hard to create these videos. I spent countless hours trying to fix my video camera in order to get the latest episodes out there. I spent long and hard to try to be able to make a video in which I am showing off what I can do. I worked hard to be able to edit those videos and to get them out there, and I spent my time to do this. This is not an easy job to do. It's not an easy hobby to do, but it's well worth it because I'm getting a lot of good feedback on those, and I like to know that I'm making a difference on some people's days. To say that, hey, your videos perked me up, or those videos were able to get me through a tough time, or what have you. And I don't want to have to worry about these types of things that are happening, these things that keep happening with the copyrights, because it keeps my viewers from being able to see content like that. That makes their day go by a little bit smoother. To be able to continue to see those people be happy from something that I am happy to make for them. So yeah, if you are a content creator has gotten these things, please let me know so we can do something about it. If I'm not the only one that's receiving these, so we can get something done. So at the very least, we can get our voices heard, because the more that we just let this go, the more they're going to do it, the more that it's just going to continue, and the tougher it's going to be for us to fight. Until next time, my name's JD Shadow, and that just happened.